So the vast majority of travel eSIMs are focused on data, and that's great if all you need is Google Maps, WhatsApp, or some browsing, but what if you need an actual phone number? Maybe you need to receive a verification text, maybe you need to call a restaurant to book a table, or perhaps you plan to live somewhere for a while and want a proper phone number. Well, that's where things get complicated because very few eSIM providers offer it. So I spent some time looking at what's actually out there, and besides virtual numbers or app-based calling, there's very little choice except for a few names that kept coming up: Airalo's Discover Global Plan, eSIM.net, Orange Travel, and SIM Local. So in this video, I'm going to show you how they hold up across the UK, Europe, the US, and Canada. So if you're heading to any of those places and you want an eSIM that works as a phone and not just for data, then stick around. Airalo's Discover Global Plan works across 170 countries and comes with calls and texts and includes a US-based +1 number. And that's where the problems begin. Because if you're thinking of using it for two-factor authentication, let's say you want to receive verification text from your bank to log in, well, those can actually get blocked by financial fraud departments. They don't like sending those SMS shortcodes to foreign numbers. On top of that, call forwarding and voicemail aren't supported. So while you do get a phone number from Airalo, it does come with some caveats. Then there's Orange Travel. If you're only heading to Europe, it's a genuinely good shout. A real French number with unlimited calls and texts right across the continent. But that's the catch. It's Europe only. So if you want to use it elsewhere, it won't work. It also comes with the annoying registration rule: use any French number for more than a month, and by law, you have to upload a copy of your passport to keep it. So it's a bit like going through customs just to send a text. That leaves us with these two, who actually do the job quite well. But the one I'd point most people to is SIM Local, who, for full disclosure, actually reached out and asked if I'd try one of their UK calling and texting eSIMs. And from my testing, they're really fast. And because SIM Local acts as a gateway to the major carriers, here in the UK, the one I was testing was running on 3, which is the UK's fastest 5G network. But importantly, that means you get a proper +44 number with calls and texts, instant activation, and a lot more data than you'd expect for the price, which I'll show you in a moment. eSIM.net does something similar. They also get you onto local networks with a genuine number, and they've also got an SMS-only line for £6 a month, purely for receiving bank verification codes. So both get you a real local number, but the big difference comes down to how much data you get and the price. eSIM.net's cheapest 3 plan is 40 gigabytes for £14.45. SIM Local gives you 100 for £15, but with my coupon TMoney15, you'll get 15% off, which is just £12.75. So more than double the data for less money. Go bigger and the gap grows. They both do a 200 gigabyte plan, and if you want unlimited data, SIM Local does this for £35 or just under 30 with the coupon, and that also includes a +44 number with unlimited UK calls and texts and hotspot included. They also throw in roaming, so you get anywhere from 12 up to 30 gigabytes depending on the plan across around 70 destinations, including Europe and even the US, so your number can travel with you. And if you're heading to Europe, SIM Local's Orange plan gives you 20 gigabytes across 44 countries for £17.50, and that's unlimited calls and texts, plus a couple hundred international texts on top. eSIM.net will actually sell you more data, but with fewer minutes and texts. So if you do want to use your phone as a phone in Europe, SIM Local is probably the safer bet. Just bear in mind what I mentioned earlier. SIM Local's European plan runs on Orange with a French number, so it has the same 30-day registration rule, and that's going to apply if you're staying for longer than a month. In the US, SIM Local gives you 18 gigabytes of data, a real American number, and unlimited local calls. But the bit that caught my eye with this one is that it also includes unlimited international minutes to over 30 countries, which includes the UK. So if you're like me and you're from the UK, you could fly over to the States, get a US number, and then use it to ring home for nothing. There is a catch. This one runs on Leica Mobile, and you have to register the eSIM after you install it, which means popping in a US zip code to activate. It's a couple minutes of faff and worth knowing before you buy, but once it's done, you've got a proper US line that can call anywhere in the world. They've also got Canada and Mexico, although that gives you calling minutes rather than a dedicated number, and you can only make calls from Canada and Mexico and to Canada, Mexico, and the US. So it's more a data and limited calls plan than a proper phone line. eSIM.net can get you online in the States as well, but it's through their global roaming plans on a UK or French number, not an American one. Now, to be fair, if you want something more permanent, there are US carriers like Tello or US Mobile. They'll sell you a proper American number for just a few dollars a month. The catch is that they're really built for US residents, so usually you'll need a US payment method, and they're set up for people staying put rather than dropping in for a trip. So if what you want is a US number that works the moment you land, then SimLocal is a good choice. And of course, also Airalo, who I mentioned at the beginning, their Discover Global plan does include a +1 US-based number. So if you're traveling to the UK and all you care about is never missing a bank text, eSIM.net's SMS only line does that one job very well. But for most people, SimLocal is the one I'd go for. You get a proper local number, unlimited calls and texts, more data than you'll realistically need, and it's really just as quick to install and activate as having like a real physical SIM from a carrier. So if you do fancy grabbing one, don't forget to use my coupon TMoney15. That's going to get you 15% off, and there's also a link in the description box that you can use. That's an affiliate link, so by using it, you'll be supporting myself and the channel. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And if you'd like to see how SimLocal performed when I tested their unlimited eSIM against Olafly, then check out this video. See you there.